Pronto, olha, bem-vindos, welcome, bem-vindos, bem-vindos em todas as línguas possíveis e imaginárias. Welcome to Startup Sintra. Este é o nosso primeiro meetup, Meetup Indústria. Hoje temos convidados internacionais e vamos experimentar aqui uma manobra de último momento e vamos passar em inglês. Vamos starting in English right now. We're going to do this meetup in English. Let's see how our guests are in terms of their ability to speak English. So the idea of this meetup is simple. We want to gather people to talk about some sectors of the industries and understand from the inside of their own perspective what will be the challenge for the future to come and what they are doing in terms of technology to understand how can we learn something about their own companies. On my left, we have Pedro Moral, he's the CEO of Frontwave and also a professor at the Instituto Superior Técnico, one of our universities in Portugal. Also, we have Nuno from NLF Software, one of our startups in the house. And we have André, one of the directors of the Group Mutal, the owner of this beautiful building. And with me, helping co-present the event, we have Pedro Faria, CEO of Nostra Prios. So let's start to talk a little bit. So this is a gathering, it's not very formal. The idea is to speak. We are sponsored by Made in Portugal. .com, yes, .com. So you can check the site madeinportugal.com. If you need beautiful wines like this one, just check the site and order now. Pedro, introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks, John, for your invitation and compliments for the rest of the guys here on the presence here on this meetup. I'm Pedro. You already know my name. I'm a professor at, I would say, the main university in Portugal of engineering school. We can say that in terms of Lisbon, at least in our region here. The rest of the guys from Oporto and the rest of the regions will not be so complimented by this self-judgment of our university. I've been in university 20 years now, and I've been doing separate things, parallel paths in my big traveling since 1996. My work is especially on the stone sector, so I bring up things that are not usual to the normal discussions, because I work specifically on the stone sector. And stone sector is like you probably have heard about the very familiar trend thing with the very noise and waste production of things, that stone basically. And it's not an easy industry to work with, especially if you come from the material science and engineering field, which is my field, and try to give a different perspective of what we can do here. I've engaged myself a dream in the past, which is bringing intelligence to stone, and this is a very
That's a good line.
yeah. I made in the past a TEDx speech about this intelligence and stone, also in IST, and the two words intelligence and stone are very, very interesting, because you basically think about stone as something that is like a immaterial thing, that's something that never changed, that's there for ages, that you cannot do anything with that. And there's so many things in terms of industry to work about. We have I've worked in the overall supply chain of the stone sector, and the stone sector is like any other sector. So the difference is that we take the stone out of the earth instead of synthesizing something. So we take this natural product that is stone, and then there is lots of machines to work with stone. first to make extract these big blocks from the quarries and from there. And it's very nice to be there, not to work there, but to be there, seeing other guys doing it, and seeing these explosions and all these wires cutting and things like that. And then these big blocks are cut into slabs or into pieces, and then are transformed. So you go to another stage of transformation. And in there is a big challenge and a big. This is introduces already here a little bit on the theme of industry, because in the last 40 years, stone was a product or a material that was transformed into standard products, which means that we take the stone out of these quarries, we slab it, okay, and then we make cut to size pieces of the same standard sizes, and we buy 30 by 30 tiles to put on the walls or to put on the floor. So everybody was doing this, okay? So thousands and thousands and thousands of square meters that we need to cut to size, polish, or give a different surface finishing. So it's kind of a difficult environment, but very, as you see from this, during the years, this turned out to be a not very well valued product. Add value was not very large on that, and so with the big construction crisis in 2008, and especially because our Expo 98 has finished in Portugal, a lot of companies have fallen down and started to feel this big crisis here. And the world started to see other products, other things coming up that even replace the stone as an ornamental artifact. So this has made substantially big changes in the industry, mainly in terms of production planning, the technology to cut, all the mass customization words were brought to stone industry. So we leave this industry of mass production, and we started to have mass customization. And what is max customization in stone is whatever the client wants. So whatever the architect wants, if he wants a round-shaped stone or a triangle-shaped stone or a building that has like 10,000 pieces of stone that are all different sizes. So they want that. And the industry was forced to give this, to deliver this to the people, or to the clients. And this is changing the industry very much. So now from robot science to mechatronics to all these sensors that are embedded in the systems that take all the forces that are doing on the stones, etc., that make the selection of the tools more optimized, to making the digitalization of the slabs and making all the guys from the architectural point of view to design over this digitalization, this scanning. This is all happening now, all happening right now. In 2001, I was a researcher in IST, and I was engaged in the creation of a startup at that time, or spin-off as we call it at IST. So I formed Frontwave, which was a spin-off in 2001. And the idea was taking all the technology that IST had in the university, and I was like a scholarship grant guy, so I had no contract on my own. So I was like, okay, let's do anything. Let's earn some money with the things with the knowledge I have right now. So I formed Frontwave at that time. I got a couple of partners, one from Spain, Diamond Tools, another from Portugal, and we started to engage like a R&D company that doesn't do R&D, that does more the development stages of the industry, which means that we understood very well what the industry wants, look up what has the university, and try to make this interface situations. We are like let's call it a technological center, but in the private way and funding by our own pocket. it's a little bit like this. So
And maybe you guys don't know, but in Sintra we have a cluster, a very interesting cluster of stone, mainly by traditional families. That probably it's not very easy to work as a group, but it has a great value in terms of tradition and
yeah,
quality.
Sintra is a kind of a case study here because we have Alentejo region, which is the south, mid south part of Portugal, and we have very beautiful and marble there. Okay, it's marble from Portugal, from Alentejo. It was at 20 years ago. It was bought at tons and tons of that marble, and was carried to Italy and named Carrara marble to be sold everywhere with a very high price. So this is how Italians do the marketing.
Very good.
They're still very, very good. They're still the top on that. There is also nowadays lots of work going on in the center of Portugal, in the limestones, near Leiria and all that region. Then in the north, granites, okay. But this region here, on Pero Pinheiro and Sintra here, was kind of a case study here, because in here, all kinds of stones were transformed, okay. From limestones to marbles, from granites to, pyroxenes or schists. Everything here was basically done. And so all the industry here knows really how to deal with all kinds of stones and deals with all kinds of products made of stone.
They have that expertise. Yeah.
Very, very big expertise.
Nice. Pedro, thanks. No, let's talk about a little bit about your startup.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nuno. Thank you for this invitation. Very glad to be here and talking about my project. Well, this whole adventure starts like 10 years ago. I was invited by a company that made plastic pieces from cars to do something that was something like a real-time monitoring of the factory floor. So that was a challenge because I didn't understand nothing about factory floor. It was a challenge because it was completely different industry that I was used to work. And I grabbed my tools and my expertise in Flash, and we start to develop that project. One of the things that they want to customize everything. They want to have how many screens they want, the navigation between them, and the look of them, and what kind of data they want to show you. So we did it. It works there like 8 years or something like that. Then Flash died.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in pieces. And then we have to migrate everything to a new technology. And that was what we started 2 years ago. And we start this new way of thinking, because IoT was there, and I was thinking that, okay, IoT is here, I have the opportunity to do this and do it better, so why not? And we start doing that, we change the technology, so it runs in desktop and mobile.
Which language did you use to?
Sorry?
Which language did you use?
JavaScript. It's all in JavaScript. Since the backend to the front end, we use that language because we only need to know one, and because the data, you can have the same kind of data in the front end and the database. We are using NoSQL databases to store data, and we are able to make the application compatible with the work that company did in 7 or 8 years. I lost contact 5 years with them. Then when they invited them to see how it was, and I was looking to that. Whoa, I did this? Really? That was fantastic. It was really fantastic. And well, we do everything. It's working, and we are this month we put that software also in the factory of Czech Republic. So we are international now, and well, yeah, it was a very nice experience because we are learning a lot of things from the factory.
But is it specific for that sector that you
No,
are?
not really. The software can, to be honest, the software is not specific to any sector. We have been web studies in November, and we changed. Of course, we start with factory floor surveys and slides, what we always do to show how much we can do with it. We also have a demo with the auto. So
For managing the auto?
Yes, to know how was the temperature of the room, who is in that room, how was the cost of the middle yeah, all that thing. So as
keep pushing.
So we as soon as if there is data, we can.
Do you guys use the minibar when you go to the hotels?
Yeah, for
Do
sure.
you use? Yeah. Actually, I don't. Do you
I use the next neighbor supermarket.
Well, when you have a
Can we interrupt?
Yeah, that
You-
gives it's a
you
conversation.
start, yeah, that's you started to interrupt, and I see. What's the difference between these kinds of softwares and the ones that we see normally in SAP or whatever?
Well, usually
Logistics or whatever.
Well, usually my software is something that you can put above everything. Okay, you can take the data from a lot of data sources. We are not making calculations. We are just making the visualization of the data.
You're right.
So you can see the data. For instance, what they have is the plant of the factory.
Yeah.
The machines placed there.
Yeah.
And it's changing colors, for instance, because the machine is working or it's stopped or have something broke. But if you change the data source,
It's really interesting.
if you change the data source, everything
You wanna
changes.
sell
Everything
something to us?
Yeah, very
I
interesting.
have them there if you want. I can show you. Even
Yeah,
I was thinking that I will show something here, so I also prepare a demo with.
Yeah, we prepared this with
So we can
send.
you can send a hashtag and change the
Yeah.
color of something
Yeah.
there.
We're doing the elevator pitch.
Because
Sorry?
You're doing the elevator pitch.
Yes.
because
Right.
basically you're on the in one of the I would say one of the interfacing situations of what we call now the industry 4.0, whatever you have.
Yeah.
Calling data, exchanging data between data mining, whatever things you do with data and machine.
Yeah, you know, for a lot of years, in that I was able to experience is that industry was like didn't have any change. You know, it's always like that. Okay, it's giving money. I don't care. I have the lucky to know those guys. They are very thinking forward in time. So 10 years ago, we already have real-time products, you know, and real-time was the buzzword like 5 years ago or something like that. So when everybody started talking about real-time, yes, that is the name that they are giving to what really like 5 years ago, and so what I see now, and even in the last meeting that was in Expo, in Porto, about industry, yes, they have a lot of other software that they are showing, oh, you can do this, and companies really want to see the data in a better way. Not that.
But your company, basically, sorry, I'm very interested on this.
We're gonna have business.
Your data, what does it differentiates from the rest? It's that it shows data in a different way, it acquires data in a different way.
It's
It
real
is-
time, I think. Yeah.
It's more.
It's real time, and it shows the data as
It's
the
more-
customer understands the data. So you can completely adapt the product to your company, to your customer
Who
needs.
adapts the product is you. The
Absolutely,
consultancy
yes,
has
yes.
so software and
Absolutely.
consultancy is always together. So the
Yeah.
same model as SAP or whatever.
Yeah.
In that situation.
Yeah, but well, in this particular case, I teach the customer how to do that, and
So-
he was able to do it as well.
Whoever stores data in any kind of database, or it must be on.
We can do that, but we can interact with other systems.
So you have to make this API systems.
Yeah,
to work with
for sure.
Nice.
That's that one that I did with Twitter, you know. So if you do some hashtag portal, you change the color to orange, I guess, and then if you
We have to see that.
yeah, I will show you.
Okay.
No problem.
Let's go with Andrea. Andrea, talk to us about the latest about Group Metal and the investments in technology.
Well, John, thank you for the invitation. My name is André. I would prefer to speak in Portuguese. I'm sorry, because I'm not used to speaking English, so
No
I
problem.
prefer.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
It's introduction.
I'm too tired, I'm sorry. Portanto, o meu nome é André, trabalho no Grupo Metal. Nós somos um grupo grande, já temos cerca de 190 pessoas. Um espaço de cerca de 70 mil metros quadrados. Portanto, acho que isso é o grande desafio. Chegamos a uma altura onde somos uma PME, temos muita gente, temos um espaço muito alargado, áreas de negócios distintas. Acho que esse é o grande desafio que nós temos diários, a grande batalha, conseguir gerir isso tudo. Penso que se calhar o futuro vai ser se calhar um bocadinho na área da indústria, que estamos a falar aqui, trazemos um bocadinho de inteligência artificial para esta área, na área da gestão, do chão de fábrica, mas acho que o que a gente precisa mesmo no futuro é resolver problemas rápidos, em que nós não temos a perder energia mental com eles. Eu acho que isso ainda não há e acho que pode ser um grande desafio para nos pais da gestão na área da indústria. Às vezes há preciso tomar certas decisões momentâneas e acredito que nos próximos 10 anos isso vai poder. Podemos ter como é que eu ia dizer, uma secretária, entre aspas, ao nosso lado para nos apoiar na gestão de todos os nossos problemas, os principais problemas.
Vocês fizeram uns upgrades nos últimos 2 anos, em termos de tecnologia, tiveram novas máquinas a entrar. Como é que foi esse processo e como é que estás a sentir os resultados agora já com mais tempo? Como é que isso está a acontecer?
É exatamente o pensasse que eu tenho agora. Portanto, nós concorremos ao 2020, 2020 de Lisboa, felizmente ganhámos cerca de 5 milhões de euros em incentivos, para além do investimento de cerca de 10 milhões de euros que nós feitamos. Portanto, ou seja, o investimento que fizemos em instalações, logo a seguir do 2020, conseguimos comprar maquinaria de topo, cá no mercado nacional e internacionalmente. Nós investimos muito na área de, portanto, ou seja, maquinaria autónoma já. Um pouco ligado já um pouco a 4.0, mas ainda não o verdadeiro 4.0. Mas também a hipótese das máquinas comunicarem entre elas e tudo é um processo muito interessante. Apoiamos muito dinheiro na área de engenharia. O facto de termos as máquinas a decidirem como é que deve ser feito. Lá está, aí não ser uma pessoa às vezes ajuda bastante. E tem sido um processo muito interessante. Há certas áreas que crescemos bastante. Houve um crescimento de 20% a 25%, crescemos 20% no ano passado, o objetivo é crescer 25% este ano. Portanto, estamos com grandes projetos, grandes negócios e nós estamos a mudar um bocadinho o paradigma que tínhamos antes do grupo, que é nós não queremos ser mais uma metalomecânica na área da subcontratação, a exportação de prateleira e pinagem, roda na pintura, depois a assemblagem feita no exterior. Aquilo que nós queremos mesmo é fazer com que o cliente não se preocupe com nada e tenha só se preocupar em vender o negócio dele. Nós temos um produto-chave na mão a funcionar. Uma área nova que nós estamos a acabar, que vai inaugurar na terça-feira, vamos ser uma área de assemblagem de produtos eletrónicos, portanto já componentes eletrónicos, portanto nós construímos a parte metálica toda, montamos todos os componentes e exportamos já prontos. Ou seja, saem daqui para a loja dos nossos clientes. Os clientes dos nossos clientes, já está pronto, é só ligar.
Não se pode dizer.
Não se pode dizer, entrar com confidencialidade, mas é interessantíssimo e todas as pessoas passam lá muitas vezes. Depois podemos ver. Vai começar a haver também em Portugal, ainda não há em Portugal, a partir de terça-feira. E a partir de terça-feira vai-se começar também a ver as coisas. Portanto, a área da maquinaria, estamos a falar mais de máquinas de trabalho, portanto, às casas das pessoas e tudo mais, produtos com mais valor acrescentado, penso que é mais por isso. Comprar ferro barato, cortá-lo, piná-lo, tintá-lo, enviá-lo para a França ou, por exemplo, para ser montado, já não faz sentido. Mas, se a gente quer ter engenheiros, bons engenheiros, o ordenado mínimo também a aumentar, portanto, ou seja, temos que começar a ter cada vez mais valor acrescentado dos nossos produtos. É pelo menos a nossa visão.
Antes de me apresentar aqui, só para uma se eu quero falar se publicamente se fala da relação com o projeto do Solar City. Eu tenho visto tantos painéis para voltar a serem montados. Fiquei curioso.
Por acaso, quem está a ver a parte da fotovoltaica não sou eu, meu pai. Eu, sinceramente, não sei nada deste projeto. Posso garantir que nós temos o objetivo até 2020.
Primeira pergunta, confidencial. Segunda pergunta,
não sei responder, é verdade, não vale a pena mentir. Posso dizer que o objetivo até 2020 é que toda a energia que nós nas nossas fábricas seja energia renovável, produzidas em tudo. A ideia é essa e é que nós somos esforçados para fazer.
Pedro!
Okay, guys. I'll do this in English again. So, João asked me to maneuver a bit the tech meetup, but I think we don't need it. These guys do get along really well. And so I'll just make a short introduction. And so I have a background in industry, manufacturing custom-made machines. And I did a slight turn last year, 2016. So now I have a consultancy agency for industrial purpose. And what I do is assessments from technological and strategy point of view of companies that want to do shift for digital, or want to do shift for industry 4.0, or want to put some autonomous type of process in house. And so I can say I'm a bit of a geek on the safe or automotive industry, and
You're an expert, actually.
yeah, I was trying
From
to
medium,
get
from
away
medium
from that.
after 3 posts, they consider me an expert.
It was so good, so good. So I tried a platform for blogging called Medium. I don't know if you know about this. And they average me as one of the experts for
After just 3 posts.
wow, come on, they were good posts. You know, it hurts.
It was fun.
But for self-driving cars. So I've been doing lately lots of technical investigation about it. And this, of course, has to do with machine learning and artificial intelligence, the cloud, and IoT. So it's a pleasure being amongst people like yourselves. We know each other quite a lot, at least some of us, and I wish you all the best.
You want to take it now?
Yeah. Well, so we have prepared a couple of questions, maybe not so specific like Ted was asking, Nuno, can we have a deal today? But let's try to make this a little bit more broader. And you've been in the industry for quite a while, at least for 10, 15 years. And I'd like to know how you see this disruption because or in the face of Industry 4.0. What's your guess in terms of how we're going to work with machines, how we're going to put people now doing the management of the machines and not working with the machines, and what will happen to future job options into education. So, and then we can go into sunset management. Can we start with you?
Yeah.
And you are on the academic.
Yeah. Well,
side,
I have this. Sorry, I have always this intuitive thing of getting up and starting to shake the hands and doing stuff like the professors do. I have a proposition on this new 2020 projects in Portugal. This mobilizing port project, a big one from the cluster of the mineral resources. And we intitulated the project as Enough Stone 4.0. So I got from 2 or 3 years ago, I've worked a lot in this sense, together with big partners there in IST and also in companies. What I see on this new challenge is, I think Andrea did mention this in the particular sentence that is told. It was, we are not depending anymore on people's decisions, and we're starting to trust machines. Okay, this we can go scientifically, or we're going to science fiction and thinking that the machines will rule the world. My daughter is always saying that the machines will rule the world, and I'm too much on the iPhone doing stuff, and she's always worried about me.
How old is she?
She's 12, and she's already acknowledging this scary thing of machines doing stuff that I'm not doing, and she does that because she basically sees that everything conversation I do, or the topic of a conversation, is always like how to optimize, how to have the algorithm to do the machine learning. We are basically trying to scan a surface of a stone and having the machine to decide everything from that point till the delivery of the product to the client. So we are basically trying to engage that big thing of not putting man doing anything. But going to the point or straight into the point you mentioned, that the challenge is, where are going to be the people like us? So are we going to stay, okay, like me or you probably, or us, we'll probably be more or less okay because we are highly creative and we can engage different things and try to design new stuff. And so that will be okay. But where will be the guys
Very skilled.
skill purpose that were dealing with certain things, and that's a tricky question. I think these guys, I think we will have, I don't know where I heard this, but someone said a week ago that we need now to not only pay taxes to people, so people does not only people have to pay taxes, but also robots.
Because Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, wasn't it?
Yes,
I saw that.
Yeah.
And that popped me this idea. Yes, that's true. That's the way.
To me, it sounded very fair, actually.
Very fair, isn't it? Because, okay, if he's replacing the person, we'll have to pay the taxes, and with the taxes we have to, we're basically pay the guy to be at home doing other stuff, like manual stuff, or whatever type of...
Pokemon, maybe?
Whatever, yeah, things like that. I presume there will be artistically sensing things that will remain on the human side. But even that, we are trying to imitate.
You know, the other day I was in...
They are painting. They are doing paintings.
Yeah. We are doing the same thing with stone. We are carving. We basically pick up a sculpture that picked up the arm of this, this impedance robots that have all these connections with the force sensing things, and these new cookers that they have, and also ABB has now for collaborative and tele and co-manipulation work. And we pick up this guy that was there doing the sculpture, and this guy who had the tool on the tip of the robot, and he was doing the shape of something, whatever he was.
So he was teaching.
He was teaching. He teach everything there. And then we told the robot to now imitate that on this piece of stone, and we have the cameras there to build up the scenario for the 3D dimension. And the robot started and made it perfect. Well, I'm not saying it executed perfectly. I would not say that, because it failed some things there, because the stone has these imperfections, and sometimes he did not sense the imperfection coming, and then the nodes get rubbed or something like that. Okay,
but you will get there.
You will get there. You will get there. And this is kind of a scary thing.
The other day, I was hearing a a guy saying that, well, but robots will not replace some type of human features like I work in Photoshop, and I have to evaluate what I'm doing, and I'm doing step-by-step decisions. And the other guy was saying, well, I just have to put the robot enough time with you that you will learn like you do it, and then we'll do it repeatedly, and we'll improve on that. But this is kind of scary because you think that you can be the best at whatever, and then you have to fight against humans. That's and what happens now? They have like superpowers.
At the same time, like some years ago, you have like hundreds of people working on a fabric on the floor, like on the textile industry, and suddenly we have all these machines and all those jobs are gone. But at some point, we create other industries in other jobs. And this is like, obviously I understand that you have a problem, you need to address it in terms of job losses, people with 50 years old that for 30 years only did that. So it will be very difficult for them to change.
Us.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Us.
I'm still not speaking,
No, us, basically.
Yeah, but at the same point, don't you think there will be open different possibilities in terms of markets and actually some of the things we use now, like 10 years ago, didn't even exist. So there was not like jobs for that. So I think probably not the same amount of jobs, but obviously there will be some other type of jobs that currently doesn't happen. So
Get skilled in mounting the robots that produce the robots.
Vamos ser sinceros, nós vamos ter robôs a montar robôs. Não faz sentido ter pessoas a montar robôs. Não é?
yeah, at some point, obviously, there will be less jobs in terms of, but at the same time, for example, the idea of taxing robots in companies, that's kind of a consensual one, I think. But at the same point, I don't know about the idea of the basic income guarantee. Because probably people, if you have money, if the state gives you money, you don't have to work. I don't know if that's going to be a very good business for that state. But probably some other industries or other areas we can focus on and make money and leave the repeatable jobs for the machines.
Let me ask that question just to reflect my thought. You just told us that you have relatively thought. What do you think she should choose as a study for herself so that she's
already decided.
She made up her mind already?
She's already decided. She's going to be in engineering and the robotics and whatever thing her creative mind will engage with. So it's on that. Which is strange, isn't it?
No, that's okay. I think that would be my mainstream probably. But guys like PricewaterhouseCoopers and other companies are making these studies like for 2020, 2025, and 2030, what is useful or will be useful in the companies.
Yeah.
And more we're talking about soft skills.
Soft skills.
So not highly technical skills because this would probably be...
I lecture that basically in university. So I have a course. My course this year only to teach soft skills.
Oh, really?
Only that.
So you don't teach technical...
No. I teach technical for some guys, and in other stages of the degree, I teach soft skills. And I give them entrepreneurship and market analysis.
He also runs a fantastic basketball club.
I do.
Hey, we have a question from the...
about this, like Finland is a leading example of this because they just instated a basic salary of €700, something like that. And also they changed the entire school system. They threw out the entire old curriculum, and now they're teaching basically like, if you're learning maths and that, you'll learn how to run a cafe, for example. They're teaching more practical skills, more like they're changing the whole system. And Finland is the only country doing this right now. Sweden is moving towards
This is still in pilot stage, or this is...
It's in pilot, like they just started with this. They just started with the basic income, and they just proposed the school system. I don't know if they changed it yet, but they're about to.
Okay, nice.
And like Finland is like they have one of the best education systems in the
They
world
have,
as well.
according to OECD.
And like in Finland, for example, if you want to be a teacher in high school, you have to have a master's degree, and also teachers are paid just as well as doctors. So like you have to be qualified to be a teacher. That's why the Finns are doing so well.
and they have like a very civilized working society. Like everything works very smoothly in Finland. They're like
That's too much, isn't it?
it's like, a little bit because like I'm
No,
not
the thing
Swedish.
is,
That's so arrogant. That's so perfect.
No, but like, in Sweden, for example, the people have
Just
nothing
kidding,
to
just
complain.
kidding.
No, but it's true because
Yeah.
like in Sweden, for example, the people they have nothing like they have it so well off. Like you got free healthcare, you have free education, you have free everything. You got social welfare. So like if you're without a job, you can either get money from the government from when you were working, or you can just get free money from the government until you find a job. So like you have everything in Sweden. So people like they found nothing to complain about. Like Sweden is one of the most equal countries in the world, and still our women complain the most about their
Yeah.
rights that they don't have when they have the most in the world. It's stuff like that. Like
Be
Sweden.
careful about
yeah,
the
but
waiters.
the thing is, it's very difficult to export models from different countries with different cultures with different level of development. You know, and I don't know, but it's not easy to copy a model that works in Finland and maybe bring it to Portugal. Let's try it.
No,
Maybe
they are
not.
trying something like that.
Yeah.
In the news, yes. Today I read in the news that they are giving like 600 euros to young people that don't have work, they are not studying. But the idea is to incentivize them to be entrepreneurs.
No,
So
that's
I
different.
don't know
That's
how that
Yeah,
will
but that's
work.
different. That's the startup voucher. You can apply. You have to be under some age, and then you can apply, and they give you for 1 year if you have an idea, project. But that's different. What we are talking here is like basic income for everyone, you know. And you,
I already have this.
in terms, no, you have the social.
Welfare.
This is
Yeah,
money
well,
you don't have to
it's
apply
more or
for.
less the same.
This is money like you turn 18 and the government just puts money into your bank
Yeah,
account.
and
You
you
know,
have to
that's
start
what-
now.
that's
What
what
is
they do.
expected from the people if you get money for free and then you don't have?
Yeah, that's the
It's
question.
basically like what they did was abolish social welfare and they just give everybody a basic salary anyway. So like with this salary you're supposed to be able to pay for everything else. But everything is still like within reasonable
Yeah, but don't you think that will have a perverse effect in terms of?
For Latin countries, yes, but maybe
No,
more.
let's not put it in Latin or Nordic because it depends on the person or in the country. Obviously, there's
On average.
an average, but that's not the question here. The question is even in a country like Sweden or Finland, if you give basic income, this is a question. I'm not saying that will happen. My question is, don't you think that you have an effect, perverse effect in terms of if I already have money, why should I try to start something or start a company or what's the idea? Because to make money, I already have it. So
You can look at it from both ends. So you can for start say that if you have a constraint, you will fight for what you don't have, and then you create something, and you will bring more person in the boat, and you will create a company, and so on and so forth. Or you can say that if you feel in a safe place and you have money income,
if you're in the comfort zone, you have
you
much
can
less.
worry about more creative stuff.
Yeah, a lot of companies are started by guys that don't have a degree, because they couldn't find a good job. So they started their own company. And then they go in and hire the best guys from the university with the best scholarships and with the best notes, etc. But the guy, and actually we are sitting in a company that, I don't know, Grupo Tal, what's the degree of the owner?
It's not.
It doesn't
It's a
have a,
technical
and he built a major company. And he hired a lot of skilled guys with master degrees and whatever. And actually the guy that started everything doesn't have a degree. Do you understand what I mean? Maybe if he had the opportunity to have a degree, he didn't start a company. And he wouldn't have so much
Probably.
success. That is
Probably was not so naive that time.
I think that what João is saying is right, because which degree have Bill Gates, Steve Jobs?
Yeah, actually, those guys who have a degree, yeah.
Any
So
degree. So
Finish, or Zuckerberg.
I have a degree myself, but to be an entrepreneur, you need to have some need. You need to feel you don't have not enough money.
You have to have balls, yeah?
Yeah, no,
That's what
yeah,
you're saying.
boss is important. but if you don't have a need, you have to give motivation to do something. Because if I gave you $600 or €600, I think I made your work so much easier. Okay? You need to feel. You need to
need to
get this money. Yeah, yeah. Because I have nowadays I run about 10 companies in the different areas. The first thing that drove me to make my first company was the need. I need money to eat. And I would say nowadays companies running for money, seek money, investors. Wrong thing. Man. We need to build a good product, a good service, and build and the money. If you have a good product or a good service, the money will follow. Okay, so in my opinion, I think that there is not a good proposal to give
Basic income.
Yeah, I think there is a wrong thing.
So, guys, Pedro.
How are you doing on time?
Yeah, we are good. We have pizza coming, so I think everybody will stay for the pizza.
Can I introduce something? Again, taking a little bit Andres' words before. You mentioned something about the product that you make everything and put it in your client and have an add value there, or trying to get value from metal sheet products that have no value at all. A little bit similar of stone itself, how we can the stone industry is paying so low on the square meter of the stone, which is less now than it costs every step of getting it. So how can we do it? And here there's a challenge, I think, on all the design aspects of the product, and the design for manufacturing, on the design of the product, on the marketing of the product. Here is something that I think it might be somehow tricky in the next, I would say, 50 years or 100 years. You have robots or artificial intelligence to imitate our own very broad and open creation heads. Okay, and I say this because sometimes I see new products coming in. You were saying that in a minute ago. You were saying, what about building new things and building new markets and opening new markets? This happens because some of us remember something that it was never there. It was impossible to trace it from artificial intelligence, and some in that point we get a shift in the paradigm of something. And I think, well, okay, but that's I was not here to speak our own things.
Yeah, but this guy's a very interesting product. You must probably you never heard about it, but it's a good.
Mostly never heard about it.
But it's a great product. Very interesting. It's they combine stone with cork. Okay, so they make stork, and it's a very good pitch, and it's unbelievable. It's very interesting because you have the stone, you have the cork, and you can also have sensors to analyze the temperature, and then they put it on buildings, and you adjust the temperature inside with the temperature outside. It's very cool. So you have to check it front way if they have stork.
Yeah, we have merged something that was not suspicious. We go, for instance.
Do you think like machines can?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Do you think machines
probably will, but that's a very.
I would like to go in that direction. Let's talk a bit about connectivity.
Yeah,
connectivity. Let me just frame and remember all of us that now it's 20 years since we had IBM computer against the world chess record at the time, and the computer won. So it's 20 years. 2017, because it was 1997.
Still there's rules there there's procedures to get your chess movements and all this stuff, isn't there?
That's why we are now talking
you have
about
combinations.
Intelligence, and we're talking about artificial intelligence.
But
And machine learning.
Sensing intelligence is not the easy stuff to. Well, if you go inside your head and you start to connect all the machines on your impulses and your.
It's very, very techy, and only on machine learning we have like 14 different types of algorithms that people are studying
right now.
And I'm not an expert.
I'm not.
I cannot talk terribly on that. But that's one side of our talk that I think is very important. It's about connectivity, and we all love connectivity on one way or another. Maybe we're afraid of it, and we won't give all our data or our details to software companies and brands and all that shit. But we love it when something automatically happens to us, to our profile, to our persona. Now, what about safety? What do you think can happen in the next 5 to 10 years when everything is connected from the car, from the cell phone, from the wall in your office?
Yeah, that was one of the great questions in IT. Yeah. Do you have those preoccupations in your systems? How do you manage that?
Well, safety is a tricky thing because in EOT you also want that the batteries of items of the device have a long life. So you need, if you want safety, you always need a big heavy protocol. So that will explain power.
And lower performance in the system, yeah?
So, it's a trade-off. But for sure, safety is for me, because I was 5 years before this.
But let me ask you, focusing the safety regarding intrusion or safety regarding
Security, let's say. It's machine to
or
machine security.
or
networks and
because it's, safety is a very broad thing.
Safety is the cat and the bat. It's just it's like a peace of mind or something like that.
Were you ever a hacker?
No, don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it. Why are you asking this?
Because this is live.
I worked 5 years in security systems, electronic security systems, CCTV, EIS, anti-shock mixing. And what I learned is the system doesn't work. The 70% of the efficiency of the system
Doesn't work?
no, the system doesn't. But any system.
Okay.
Because
We see that on Fox.
behind any system you have a person. And
Okay.
a person can fail.
Yeah.
Many ways. You can cut a finger, you can take an eye out, you can do
You can
whatever
fall
you
asleep on
want.
a machine and
So
But Andre is already programming. So
safety is just a state of mind.
Okay.
You can say,
Hopefully
okay, I'm
not.
safety.
I hope the guys that go to the machines have a little bit more
so
safety
how
than-
it will be industry in 50 years from now?
What about that? What do you think? What's your vision of that?
What will be?
Clean factories,
We will be on Mars already?
things
developers.
Things that I really believe that will be full automatic because we already have it. I meet a guy that was making this fence for the warehouses. You need to have the security fence if something goes to the floor, then it can be for the person and so on. And the guy was saying, "Oh, we have the factory in Switzerland." Or something like that. I was thinking, "Oh, I sounded how they can manage that?" Because it's full automatic. We don't have to know that. What is the future? It's machines. You already have this little robot going.
But you're
Mas tem qualidade de vida. Deixa-me só dizer uma coisa na área da indústria. Qualidade de vida. Daqui a uns anos, aliás, hoje em dia, o que é que acontece? Hoje em dia nós temos telemóveis, computadores, máquinas relativamente inteligentes no mercado. Mas eu trabalho das 8 da manhã e até às 11 da noite eu vou estar aqui a trabalhar e estar-me a cansar. Nós falámos aqui um pouco do que é que seria, portanto, o que é que vai acontecer aos trabalhadores que vão ficar sem emprego. E vai chegar novos empregos, mas acho que não vão conseguir combater isto.
Okay.
A população está a aumentar. Portanto, automaticamente devia aumentar o número de postos de trabalho, está a acontecer o oposto. E aquilo que eu acho que vai acontecer é que as pessoas vão trabalhar menos, vez de trabalhar, por exemplo, das 9 às 6, vão se calhar trabalhar 4 horas por dia, vão ter robôs a ajudá-los a fazer determinadas coisas, a gerir o seu trabalho. Cada vez mais temos isso, hoje em dia, ferramentas que nos ajudam a fazer determinadas coisas. Hoje em dia, não é? Quem tem um filho em casa, por exemplo, com 10 anos ou 15 anos, não é? Pode estar a ver no computador ou no telemóvel o que está a passar no mundo. Portanto, ou seja, tem que conjunto hoje em dia ferramentas. No futuro vai ser cada vez mais, não é? E nós vamos ter mais qualidade de vida, mais tempo de criatividade e acho que vamos ter novas ideias, negócios de maneira diferente. E vamos ter o que a gente andamos cada vez a investir mais. Nós não temos dinheiro. O dinheiro não serve para nada. O dinheiro só serve para comprar tempo. Portanto, nós, a partir do momento que nós conseguimos ter tempo, a gente vai precisar do dinheiro. Ok? E isto vai mudar completamente o paradigma. Ser rico é ter tempo. Se eu pudesse fazer o que eu quisesse para o resto da minha vida, era isso que eu queria.
But that depends on the income. Do you think we are moving for a sharing economy? Because of all this industrialization and all this stuff, that's
More
like the
circular.
margins are going so low,
More circular.
and then we are going for like some kind of sharing that you are producing whatever you are needing, like you have your own 3D, and bringing in 3D with sand or whatever, you are doing your own stuff, your own food, and you are sharing with other people, and less things about making money and spending the money. You seem to be going on that way.
There's also another thing, I agree with that, but there's also another thing that I think will be important to bear in mind. It's this very fast change of everything happening. So I remember I was 10 years at, I think I can say that, at Marty Fair. And I was in Marty Fair Solar.
We are not sponsored by them,
Yeah,
but you can ask them after this meetup for a
and I was
nice
there. I
donation.
was there. No, this is just an impression that I took from the visit, and I saw a very billionaire investment in robotics for making the solar panels and all that kind of thing. Very, very large. In 2 years, the type of materials that have been using now changed.
They're obsolete.
And the thing is completely obsolete. So, okay, they can sell the robots for other things, but still there is a lot of consultancy afterwards to come to program and to do all these kind of things. And I think there will be this economy, the economy that is changing very, very rapidly to different materials, different products, different solutions. It's not the IT thing that we use on the same platform, but eventually, yes, because if someone creates a new iOS thing, maybe everybody changed for that, and
Apple is a good example.
and afterwards,
Before iPhone,
you create more jobs. So there is this space of the rapid shifting of things. Maybe gives us the opportunity to get different kinds of jobs and to change everything very suddenly. And a very stable industries, well, like the stone or all others, wood or metal, would probably that will probably be true. There will be more and more automated, less people, not changing so much, but there will be the others. I believe there will be the other industries.
Let's check our guys. Do you want to make some more questions? We are just rounding up to finish.
Have run up to wine, so
We don't have more wine, so that's the thing.
Now
finish.
that everything's like becoming more automated and stuff like there's a lot of movies that touch the topic as well, but like it's also like something that you can see that people are getting lazier and lazier. Like you have the hoverboard now, for example, we don't even have to walk by yourself anymore.
Yes.
Like with so much
I'm
automation.
suffering all that.
Yeah, with all this automation, like, isn't it possible that people just become lazy? Because there's a lot of people that won't accept some manual labor jobs because it's too much work. There's a lot of people like just getting into that mentality, like especially like from millennials, for example. They know the theory behind everything, but they're not willing to do the work to do it.
That's a great topic of conversation now.
Yeah, like you can always pay somebody else to do it. So why should I do it myself? You know, like everything is so easy. Like me, for example, like I moved down here, and this for the first time I actually knew what struggling was. Because in Sweden, I have everything given to me by the government. Whatever I needed, if I ever needed help, like I could get it from the government. I didn't need to work for anything.
Where is Sweden?
Yeah, like way up north.
Let's move to Sweden.
Where is Sweden?
But like it's literally like I had no incentive to even try because like if like I can get a mediocre job like anybody else, and then whatever like that is not covered, like I get free healthcare and all that, so I don't have to worry about my health. Like I have everything given to me by the government. I have free schooling.
Do you
for my
think
kids.
that's a bad strategy? That's a bad strategy.
It's not a bad strategy. It's just that where's our motivation after that? Because like we get so much free
Exactly.
stuff.
That's what we were talking about the
Yeah.
basic income thing.
But is that the way millennials are dealing right now with the future?
Well, not everybody, but like
No.
there's
Did
like-
you think that's a majority?
Yeah, there's a majority. There's a lot of people that don't want to put the work down.
I
They
tend to disagree by looking at my own students, my own millennials. Okay, and I see them.
But you are at a special point.
No, I don't know because I
It's not the norm.
I see them
If we
with a
consider
very
the students from technical the norm, I don't think.
no, but I'm forget about the students there from IST. But let's think about. I'm just saying, okay. I see the students looking for new things to do and new ideas and always that you're. I don't know your age, but you're probably around the millennials. So okay, I'm in the interface there already. So I'm looking for other things. But what I see is they're always trying to move and shift very quickly to one thing to another. So they're not never satisfied with what they get.
Yeah,
Whereas
because
you, so
yeah.
I don't see them as much in that sense of being waiting for things.
Well, no, it's not.
But I'm not saying that you are not
No, it's,
wrong in Sweden. Okay.
no, I get your point of view, and I can see it. Like, 'cause I see that as well. There's always people striving for more, but at the same time, there's a lot of them that don't have that higher education. That just think like I have a lot of friends that come back. I have this idea. It's fantastic. I've got a business idea. I'm like, it's great. Sounds fantastic. Do it. Yeah.
But you know that.
Yeah.
But you know that I don't see them searching for. Even I don't see them searching for new businesses. They're not searching for new businesses. They're seeking for
They're just trendy.
new things.
So it's hipsters. These guys are hipsters.
Yeah.
A little bit on that, and all sides of engineering science. Okay, I teach materials, mechanics, chemical, and civil. So I do a lot of things. Also in management, industrial management. So I think I see them always searching for new things. I don't know if they have a vision, a strategy. That I don't think. Okay, I assume that
I think we should do a meetup on millennials.
it's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Change the
So
agenda.
guys, it's like almost 8:00. Thank you very much for being with us.
Already?
We're gonna continue because we have more wine and pizzas. But if you want to get to that, you have to come for the next meetup that we're gonna do 41 of March. We're gonna launch a new program for Sintra Start, and we have also a very interesting meetup on focus on tourism and technology. So you are all invited. From now, thank you, Pedro, Gianluno, thank you, Andrea, thank you, Pedro, again. Guys, thank you very much. We are going for the room. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
João, vamos só repetir a introdução, mais nada, não é tudo, é só a introdução. É quando apresentaste as pessoas.
É.
Logo no princípio, é rápido,
Porque,
porque falhou a gravação.
fica assim, não vai
Certeza?
estranho. Não.
Olha, repetir posições diferentes.
Olha,
Mas podes fazer exatamente isso.
porque,
In the end, we do another introduction.
Só a introdução, só dizer quem são e mais nada. Olá,
Ah,
bem-vindos. Está
ok,
feito.
vamos experimentar.
Ok.
So,
Já estão vazios.
Exato. É dos bêbados. Arrumaram isto tudo. Arrumaram isto tudo.
Está aqui às
olha, mas eles estão todos de pé. O delay está de 40 segundos.
Isso é desculpa que eu fui mais vinho.
Para quem está a ver o live, isto é como se fazem as edições. This is live edition. Tu tiveste o tempo todo à frente do rapaz. Para
Não,
deixar
não,
o rapaz.
Disse várias vezes para ele chegar para a
Eu
primeira.
gosto de estar sempre offline, não há
Já
stress.
tinha atrás, So, welcome. Onde é que nós íamos na introdução? Quando é que cortaste? A parte que ficou desde o início.
Desde o início.
Desde
Estava
o
daquele lado.
Olá, estamos na Startup
Exatamente.
Sintra.
Até apresentares as pessoas, depois.
Então, olá, estamos na Startup Sintra. Bem-vindos ao nosso meetup. Para quem não sabe, isto é um re-edit. A gente explica porquê. Começamos em português, mas devido a termos aqui uns convidados internacionais, we're going to shift to English. So, from now on English, on my left, I have Pedro Amaral, CEO from Frontwave and professor at Instituto Superior Técnico. Also with us, Nuno, not Nuno Silva, Nuno Fernandes from NLF Software. And we have our great André, director from Grupo Metal, on the house of Grupo Metal. And co-hosting with me, the only Pedro Faria, CEO from Nostro Prius. Then we'll explain you why this is a reality. Great? Nice.
Obrigado.
So, let's go to the pizza. Pizza! Johnny, não participaste com
Então vais lá chatear as 11. Quem quiser ir ver as máquinas a trabalhar direto,
Obrigado.
Terça-feira podemos ir ver o novo produto.
Terça-feira, se correr bem, podem começar a ver montagens lá.
Não vai.
Desliga, desliga o live stream.
Eu. Já viste isto?